everyone, welcome to episode 84 of the Arieknits podcast. My name is Ariel, and this is a video podcast where I talk about all the things that I have been knitting and spinning on for the past week. In this case, it would be the past 2 weeks because I didn't have an episode last week, and that is because last weekend was Flock Fiber Festival here in Seattle, Washington, and I went, of course, and I had an absolute great time, the best time, hanging out with my friends and meeting some of you all who watched the podcast, which was amazing, and just like looking at all of the yarn, looking at all of the fibers. So this episode I will of course talk about the normal things that I usually do, talk to you about I do have a finished object, and also my works in progress, and then we will finish off the episode with what I bought from Flock. And yeah, so I think that will be majority of this video is the things I bought from Flock and just what I thought about Flock and what I did and all of that. So if you like and you want to hear about Flock, stay tuned until the end. And if you don't, we're going to start off with the normal things. So today is actually Sunday, August 18th that I'm filming this, and it is early in the morning. I usually film on Saturdays in the afternoon, but yesterday I was doing a house project, so that took all day. I was too tired to film yesterday, and I was like, okay, I'm going to film Sunday morning. So it is actually like a little before 7:30 in the morning, so if my voice sounds a little funny, that is why. But it's early in the morning, but I'm just as excited as I normally am and feeling pumped and energized to talk about my knitting. So, starting off with what I am wearing. This is not a new finished object or anything, but I am wearing today my Weekender Crew by Mowry, and this is my second ever fully handspun sweater that I've knit, and so it's very special to me. The handspun fiber is from Arbon Textiles. The fiber is like the line and the colorway that I got is called Yarnadelic. The colorway is called the Beautiful Ones. And it is this gorgeous, gorgeous overall gray color as it kind of like looks just from like far away. But if you look very closely and like in the sun of the fiber and the yarn, it has, and when you look at the fiber before you spin it, it has just like strips of like red, blue, and yellow in there with some of that gray fiber. So all blended together, it just looks so great. I love it so much. And I've been very happy that I've been able to wear my sweaters lately because I did spin this to about a DK weight. And you're like, it's summer. And I was talking about maybe like a month ago, like how hot it is and I can't wait to wear my sweaters and all of that. But ever since I moved, and also if you haven't watched in the past, I think 2 episodes, this is my 3rd episode filming in this new location. I moved very recently and I'm in a different location. I'm still in Washington State, so I didn't move very far, but I'm in a new location. That's why the background also looks different, and where I'm filming right now. Oh, I will talk about all of this stuff at the end too, just in case you're not into it. But it is a lot cooler here. I don't know why. I think the apartment I lived in before was just so hot all the time. So hot that during the winters I didn't ever need to use a heater. Like, it was just so warm. And this place is a lot cooler, and so I get to actually wear my sweaters, and I actually feel cold in the mornings, and sometimes also throughout the afternoons. I have to wear, like, my socks, and so it is great for me as a knitter because I love wearing all my knitted sweaters. So this is one of the sweaters I have been reaching towards. That's all I'm trying to say. Sizing-wise for this sweater, I knit size 1. I use US 4 needles or 3.5 millimeter needles, and US 6 or 4 millimeter needles for this. Of course, like, the smaller needle size was for the ribbing details, and the bigger needle size was for the rest of the sweater. Final measurements for this, I got 40 inches in circumference, and so that gives me about 10 inches of positive ease. And like I said before, like I've shown this sweater before on a podcast, but just in case you haven't seen it and just in case you want to see it again, here it is. It is called the Weekender Crew because it is just like Andrew Mowry's Weekender sweaters, I think. Although I think this one's in a different weight. I think this is DK weight. And it does have a crew neck, so it's not like that boat neck where it goes straight across. It has that, I think, like signature slip stitch detail down the middle. And it's in reverse stockinette. So this all is on the body is all the purl side of the fabric. There are 2 really cute pockets, and sleeves are done in normal stockinette with the knit stitches facing on the right side. Has a cute split hem. I love a split hem, and yeah, this has just been a really cozy knit. I feel like when I first wore it after I washed and blocked it, I felt like it was a little itchy, and that was probably due to like because the fiber was so soft when I was spinning it. But I was like, it was probably maybe I like over applied it, so it felt a little ropey or something like that. I mean, not really, but I was like, you know, that could be it. I believe I did a 3-ply spin for this, and so everything was just like a little bit new as far as like, because I don't think I normally knit with 3-ply yarn, so I was like, maybe that's that. Could be because it's different yarn. It's not, you know, like, it to the touch after I spun it, it wasn't like the softest yarn. But I say this all just as to give like an update and a background for how I feel now wearing the sweater a little bit longer, that it feels quite nice and comfortable. I don't know if it got softer slightly over time with wear, but I've been very much enjoying it. And as far as pilling, not too much pilling overall. I think maybe I need to wear it more to see how it goes. I think if anything, it is just like slightly on the underarm parts. Just like slightly, but like so slightly. So yeah, that is my quick just like update. It's not a progress update, but just an update on how my Weekender Crew sweater is going and wearing and all of that. So let's move on to something maybe a little more interesting. I do have a finished object this week. Can you guess? Can you guess what it is? And as I say this, I need to reach and grab it because I forgot to pull it off of the drying rack. Okay, I finished the Bennet Sister Shawl by Lindsey Fowler. I'll hold it up. Here it is. Very pretty. Details first. I use both of the yarns I use for this Coast to Coast Yarn Co. Classic Sock and Suri Cloud, both in the colorway Milkweed. Love this color so much. This is a one-size pattern, but after you kind of like understand what the pattern is, you can, of course, change it to be whatever size you want and whatever stitch count you want. I use US 6 needles. I believe that was the recommended needle size for this. That is 4.0 millimeter needles. And yeah, I finished it. I really, really wanted to finish this because it's been a long time coming. I feel like ever since I learned about this pattern, I've been wanting to make it, been waiting for like that right yarn colorway to stick out to me saying, become a Bennet Sister Shawl. Finally happened with this Coast to Coast colorway, and it's just so pretty. The colorway is like this really light pink. It's like a variegated pink and white with speckles it's like golden speckles all around it. The shawl is a triangle shawl. It is worked from this end here, and you do increases all the way to the middle. and then you decrease to the end, the other side. Halfway through, okay, so for the start, you start with just one strand of your fingering weight yarn, and then halfway through you add a strand of a lace fluffy yarn. And I think what's really cool about this pattern is that you can use some really special skeins that you have in stash. You don't need like a sweater quantity to make this. You do need like 2 fingering weight skeins of yarn. Basically, the kind of goal, or it's not really a goal, but like the idea is that half of the shawl you use 1 skein of fingering weight and the other half you use the other, and so it really is trying to use up 2 skeins of fingering weight. And the idea with the half where you add the fluffy yarn is that you can use 1 special skein of a fluffy yarn. In my case, I wanted to use a Suri because I don't really like mohair. I find it pretty itchy to me, and so Suri has always been like my substitute. However, because the yardage usually is a little different, I think for a lot of hand-dyed yarns, the Suri base is like, it's less than 400 yards for a skein. I did have to buy 2 skeins of the Suri, and I do have leftover, probably more than half leftover of my second skein of Suri for this. And so I don't have a lot of leftovers of my fingering weight yarn, but I do have some leftovers of my Suri, but that is totally okay with me. I also wanted to add, if you do want to make this pattern and you feel weird about, and you want to make it with Suri, but you feel weird about buying 2 skeins to just use like 1.5 of it, or a little less than half of the second skein to make this, there are other hand-dyed yarn businesses out there that their Suri is actually the thinner Suri, and the only one I know off the top of my head is Woolberry. Her Suri base is 437 yards right now. She did have like the 300 something yard Suri for the 50-gram skein of Suri, but she did change to be, it is a little bit thinner, I would say, maybe less fluffy. I'm not like totally sure. I'm gonna say less fluffy, and so you do get more yardage per skein, which is great, and it probably now even like acts a little bit more like the mohair, which usually has more than 400 yards for 50 grams. So I just want to put it out there, just in case you're like, ugh, I don't like mohair, I love Suri, but I don't want to buy 2 skeins of Suri for this. So yeah, that is something you could look out for. Another really cute thing about this pattern that I hope you can see I think you can see it if I angle it this way, is that in this triangle here, so the shawl is garter stitch, but except for this like middle square, I mean, it's like it's from this point here up until here, and so you get one side with the Suri, one side without the Suri. It is stockinette stitch, and so let me try and like angle it this way. You can kind of see where that line is between the garter and the stockinette. So anyway, I'm sure you've probably seen this shawl. It's not a new pattern, but it is new to me. This is the first time I'm making the Bennet sister shawl, and I really like it. I think the one thing that is just like slightly weird is like the half with the Suri is just bigger than the side without the Suri, because it really is just like a different hair length. It's actually not too bad. But with the Suri, I mean, you're usually getting like a DK weight yarn, like you're doubling your gauge of yarn that you're using. And I didn't change needle size or anything, but that's just kind of like how it works out. One side is maybe, unless you make the fingering weight side a little more airy to match with maybe a little more dense Suri side, but either way, I'm really happy that this is done. I'm really happy I get to wear it now. I was talking to my friend Megan the other day, and I was like, if you wear the shawl like this, will one shoulder feel warmer than the other because one side has, the Suri, which is very warm? We'll see. I don't know. but I guess you could, I don't know, you could wear it so that it's not, oh, like if you wear it like this and you have the Suri just kind of like the Suri half, yeah, covering both sides, you're good. Look how cute this is. This looks so cozy. This is so cozy. And like I said before, it's been cold here in my, I was going to say my office, but right now I'm in a different downstairs room. But it's cold enough for me to sometimes wear shawls during certain times of the day where I'm like cold. So this is great. I actually get to wear my Bennet sister shawl during the summer when I'm indoors, not outside. Outside's very hot. So that is I feel like that was a long story for my Bennet sister shawl, but I love it. I'm so happy. And I do need to take pictures. Hopefully that'll go on my Instagram. Maybe I will, okay. I'm hoping my lighting setup will change a little bit in the near future. So hopefully the lighting will get better and I will actually be able to show you a little bit of a less yellow version of the shawl. But if I don't get to that before I take pictures of this, which may be doubtful, I have a backlog of finished object pictures to take. So anyway, Bennet sister shawl, my one finished object for the past 2 weeks. I'm very happy about it. And yeah, I'm going to be using it, I think, quite a lot. It's very comfortable. I have ideas to make more, but I have so many other things I want to knit, so we'll see. But I enjoyed it, and so I don't see myself, I see myself potentially making this again. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to my whips. Okay, I also have a new cast on this week. I started it a few days ago. But I always talk about my new cast-ons at the end of my whip section. So let's start off with the ones that you have heard me talk about before, but I've made progress on. Okay, so this is my Haw Creek Pullover by Andrea Gaughan. Let me show you here. Okay, holding it up. All right, it is worked top down, as you could maybe tell, so I am working now on the body, and I have just finished up my first skein of this yarn. I love when I am working on a project and I get to the end of a skein, and then it's like near when I'm filming for the podcast so that I can hold this up without being attached to the yarn and for that yarn to just be like all over the place, and so I'm very happy about that. Okay, yarn for this, Woolberry Fiber Coat Berry Merino in the colorway Orange Blossom. This is one of my Woolberry Rewind projects, and if you don't know, one of my goals this year is to use up all of my Woolberry Rewind colorways from last year, and the Woolberry Rewind was just that every month last year she brought back an old colorway, one colorway per month, and she released it to purchase, and I bought a colorway from every month last year, and so I am trying this year to use up all of it. So this is one of them. I really like this color because it is, look, it's like a peachy orange. Orange is not really a color I would buy, but I really like, it's a lighter orange, and so I feel like that gives it like a pass for me. I mean, it's cute. I like this shade of orange, and the speckles on this though really just like did it for me. It has like these dark green speckles, and it's very like scattered throughout. Like it doesn't feel like it's, you know, heavy speckles everywhere. Like it's just a little dusting of speckles, and I love that. So that's the yarn. I am knitting size A. I'm using US 5 needles or 3.75 millimeter needles to knit this. I believe that is the recommended needle size. And do I have my stitch marker from where I was before? So I was joined in the round last time for the body, but I just did like a few rows of the body in the round last time, and so I did add quite a few more inches to the body. I am not done knitting the body yet, and so, but this is always like a great place for me to, I didn't look at the rest of the pattern instructions yet, but I will probably, do I do a sleeve next? If there's any kind of like neck band, although this looks really nice and clean, like if it's left like that, I wouldn't be mad. And so, I don't know, is there any neck band pickup? If there is, I'll probably do that if I remember. Maybe I'll do a sleeve. This is a long sleeve pattern, and so there are sleeves on this. Although it'd be very cute without sleeves too. That's an idea. But no, I am going to be knitting sleeves for this. So maybe sleeves next, or if I'm not feeling it, I'll just knit the rest of the body. We will see, and it's been enjoyable. The stitch pattern is a 3x3 garter rib. I can hold this up so you can see it a little better. That stitch pattern. I think it looks really cute. It's like all over the sweater, the stitch pattern. And it's really easy to knit on this when you don't want, it's like almost, I mean, it's nothing like stockinette the round where you literally don't have to think about anything. You do have to, so every other round is all knit around. And then the other round is a knit 3, purl 3. That's how that stitch pattern works. And so some rounds you do kind of have to look and think. But you really don't have to, like, I can talk to friends while I'm knitting on this. And so it's been a really, like, relaxing, meditative knit. And so that's been super nice about this top. Yeah, and that's what I have to say so far about the Haw Creek pullover. It's been great, and I am one full skein in, and so that feels like good progress. Okay, next up is another project that I finished up one full skein with, and so it's not attached to a yarn ball right now, which I love. This is the Flaneur top, or the Date Night top, by Whileberry Creative, and I bought the pattern through Sorella. So it's just like, depending on, if you look at Sorella website or the Ravelry website, the name for the top is like a little different, but it's the same pattern. So it is a tank top design, but the part that's really cute, which I didn't get to yet, which maybe I will now because I need to attach another ball of yarn, is that there are ruffles at the top of each of the sleeves on the outside, like facing on the outside, and it's very, very cute. I just can't wait to see it with the ruffles, because that is the reason why I bought the pattern and wanted to make it. The yarn I'm using for this is Woolberry Fabrico Berry Merino in the colorway Let's Go Party, and so it is a dark pink colorway, and it's quite a saturated color for my personal, like, the things I usually gravitate towards is always like pastel light colors. So this one does not fit in that category, but the more I look at it and the more it gets worked up in this top, the more I love it. And I think it would look so cute in this pattern, like with that ruffle. Like, I feel like, I mean, it would look good in any colorway, but like when I was thinking about what pattern to knit with this, because I didn't want it to feel too like bold and out there, which, okay, maybe the ruffle is a little like, ooh, it's not just like a plain tank top, but I don't know, there's something about this color that I feel like is going to look really cute with that ruffle sleeve. Okay, so as far as progress, I was here on the body last time we talked, and so I feel like I almost doubled what I had for the body, which is really nice. This was the knit that I brought with me to Flock, and for the whole weekend, this is what I worked on, because it is stockinette in the round. Very easy to work on while you're talking with friends, and so I got a lot done. Made me feel happy. I didn't feel bored working on it because I was talking with friends basically the whole time I was knitting on it last weekend. So it feels good. Feels great. I'm quite happy with how it's going so far. So, oh yeah, the size I am knitting is extra small, and I'm using US 6 needles or 4.0 millimeter needles. to knit this. And it's going fine so far. Just working, stocking it in the round. Okay, next up. Oh, I actually have 2 new cast-ons. Ish. Kind of. I mean, technically I do, but one is predictable. Okay. I cast on is it the 4th Stella quilt cushion? Yes, the 4th one. Oh no, I should hold it up like this. The 4th Stella quilt cushion. You're like, I've seen this before. It's the 4th one. So I still haven't finished my 3rd Stella quilt cushion. I'm going to just make that clear. But right now I am stuck on working on the back of that cushion, of cushion number 3, because I made my own hand-dyed yarn color for the back of that pillow. And because I moved recently, have not had the time or space or mental capacity to even think about dyeing more yarn at this time. So that has been put on hold, but I didn't want to wait too long because I do have a sort of deadline for these because they are going to be Christmas gifts for my cousins. However, I did have a buffer. I have a buffer. I knew that from when I started this project so that I wouldn't feel any kind of like rush to do it. And so I'm feeling good. But in the meantime, I was like, well, while I'm waiting for the back to finish the back of that, which means I need to dye more yarn, how about I just start the front of number 4 so that I don't get, too far behind while I wait. And so I did start the front of cushion number 4. I'm going to make 5, and so it is feeling very close, very close to finishing all of these. And again, the front of all of these are the same colors in the same order. It's just the back that will be different colors, but so I'm over halfway done with the front of this 4th one. And the only unfortunate thing is that I also dyed the colorway for this main color, this like white background color, and I am running out. I don't think I will have enough of it to finish the front of this, and so I will have to dye more of that color to even finish the front of this 4th one. So I'm hoping I can dye more yarn soon. Maybe I'm hoping within the next month. The next 4 weeks, I'm hoping I can get myself together to do that. But again, I'm not feeling too rushed. I'm not feeling like I'm really close on the deadline. Or like, I'm not close. It is August. I have like 4 months, is that right? 4-ish months. Although I need to account for some other things. I also want to take pictures. Need to buy pillow inserts. Need to ship them to my cousins because they don't live in Washington State. But it's fine. I have a lot of time, right? I just need to finish the back of number 3. Finish up the rest of this and the back of number 4, and then finish another one. And the schedule that I had myself on before for this was to finish one of these in a month, in 4 weeks for one pillow, because I do 1 week for one half, 1 week for the other half of one side, and then the same for the other. So 2 weeks for each half of the pillow. I'm feeling fine. I'm telling myself it's fine. I really like to be early for deadlines. Like, I don't like to get right up to the deadline if I can avoid it, and so I just like to be early. So that's the only reason why I'm feeling a little like I'm behind, even though I'm not. But anyway, Stella quilt cushion number 4, start. Feeling good. I'm not feeling tired of knitting like this, the colored squares. It's really quite, at this point, it feels calming to me to knit this because each square knits up. It feels, I wouldn't say fast. It doesn't feel fast, but it feels like a good chunk of time that you can like get a square done and be like, good. So that is Stella Quilt Cushion number 4 cast on. Next, I have my actual, what I would call my new cast on, something I've never talked about before, and I had no idea. I didn't know this pattern existed until I basically cast it on, or until I decided to cast it on. So, as I've mentioned before, I am trying to use all of my Woolberry Rewind colorways from this year, or from the colorway, I'm trying to use it up this year, the colorways from last year. So, and I'm a little behind. I know I'm a little behind as far as like, that would mean use up one colorway per month. And so I know I'm behind because that would be like one thing per month. But, okay, so I was trying to look for a pattern for I wanted my next cast on to be something with the Woolberry Rewind colorway because, I want to get back on it. I want to get on track for this goal. So I was looking for patterns. I was looking at the colors I had for options. And then I found this pattern. Although I will say, okay, hint, if you watch Megan's podcast, A Naughty Mess, she did a sample, I believe it was a sample knit for La Mercerie, and it was the Elton Pullover by Joji Locatelli. And it is, if you don't know this pattern, it is a striped pattern, but the stripes are like, what's hers also, is the Elton also a fingering weight and a lace weight, like fluffy. And I was like, look, I can see it's cute, but why? Why would you do that? Because, like, striped, I don't know. For me, I was just like, I didn't really get it. But when Megan finished the sample and when she put it on herself, I was like, it's cute. It's cute, but it seems so annoying to knit. So I was like, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. But anyway, it got me thinking. I was like, let me look at Joji Locatelli patterns because I think I've only ever knit one other pattern of hers, and I think it might have been called the Amy cardigan. Maybe. I should have double checked that before I said that. But I was looking at her patterns and I was like, okay. I saw she has a Milton cardigan, which is basically, did she call it like the sister of the Elton? And she also has an Elton cardigan, I think. There's an Elton pullover. But she has a Milton, and it's pretty much the same idea. It is it's a striped alternating fingering weight and a lace weight fluffy. And this one's a cardigan. It is long and it's A-line, and so it looks very flowy and dressy. And it has like a shawl collar. And I was like, I want it. I'm gonna make it. And that means I can use two Woolberry Rewind colorways from last year, so I could get to use, 2 months in one project type of thing. So let me show you the yarn first. I know, I'm just like putting you in suspense to seeing how I worked it up because I worked on it a lot. I was very excited about this. Okay, here are the 2 Rewind colorways that I chose for my Milton cardigan by Joji Locatelli. This one is Seashore. This is the colorway Seashore. It is like this dusty blue. Can I say that? It's a blue. It's like a gray blue. I really like this colorway. I just like, and I have 2 skeins of fingering weight. Didn't know, I was like, I could use it for a tank. That was kind of like the initial idea, but I was like, I can use it for this cardigan. This is in the Berry Natural base, and I'm very happy I decided that for this colorway and also for this cardigan, because when I was knitting it, I didn't realize it was the Berry Natural base, which is the non-superwash merino base from Woolberry. But I was knitting it and I was like, why does this yarn feel so different? Because I am knitting with, oh my gosh, wait, are all of my knitted projects right now using Woolberry? It is. Wow. They're all using Woolberry yarn and all fingering weight. except for the Stella quilt cushion, which is a cashmere, the cashmere merino nylon base held together. But the rest of them are fingering weights, Woolberry, and berry merino base. And so when I was knitting with this, I was like, why does it feel so different? And I looked and I was like, oh, it's berry natural. And I love it. I love how it feels. I love this base. It's so soft. Okay, so that is the fingering weight yarn I'm using for this. And then the lace weight yarn I am using, Berry Suri, and this is the new Berry Suri. I feel like I'm going to say new Berry Suri until I use up all of the old Berry Suri that I have in my stash. And by new, I mean it's the one that is 437 yards for 50 grams of this yarn. And the colorway is Camp Woolberry. And I've used this colorway in like the normal fingering weight sock yarn. And I think I've made socks with the Camp Woolberry colorway before, and I really liked it. And so I got some Suri because I thought it was very cute. It is like a tan cream color base with different colored speckles all across. And they're like darker colored speckles, as you could maybe tell. There's like this dark purple blue, dark purple, and like a brown color in there. On Suri, I feel like speckles usually just kind of like disperse a little differently. They're not like dots. They kind of blend out, and I honestly really like how it does that watercolor kind of effect on Suri. And so I thought holding these together would be very cute. I was nervous though because it's hard to tell. Here they are caked up because I feel like you can get a better sense of the yarn colors and maybe how it'll knit up once you kind of cake it up. So you can see that even though you could see like dark splotches of the colors in the Suri, like once it's kind of like skeined up, it really kind of just shows up in very minimal areas. And you can see that pop up, knit it up as well. I'm just trying to hold this, fold this, hold it so that you can actually see. Here it is. So I have worked on this quite a lot because I have joined under the arm and I'm working on the body now. So this is worked top down. The shawl collar is worked with the rest of the cardigan, like knit with the cardigan. Thankfully, the one thing I will just avoid as much as I can is a collar or a neckband where you have to sew it on. Like you knit it separately and you sew it on. I did that once or maybe a couple times and I hated it. There's not too many things in knitting where I hate. Hate's a strong word, but I really don't like doing that. So anytime that there's a cardigan where that neckband or button band or, some kind of band is knit together with the body, I love. Okay, so this is worked top down. It starts off, you actually start working with this shawl collar, which is hard to kind of tell, but you can see the slight difference in texture from just a stockinette knit into this, and this is a 3x1 rib, this whole thing. And so that's really nice. There is like saddle shoulder construction on this. You can see it right here. But what's interesting about this saddle shoulder, you don't knit it separately. You actually knit it while you're working the body. And so just by doing increases in a certain section, on the outsides of this area, so you're still knitting, back and forth like this, but you get this saddle shoulder look, which is very cool. I don't think I've done a pattern that does it like this, and so that was very cool to see. You can see the armholes here, and I've connected and done a few stripes under the arm. And okay, I am knitting size 2. I'm using US 4 needles or 3.5 millimeter needles to knit this. That is the recommended needle size. And I decided to go with size 2 because that is for my size with the recommended ease. I think that does give me think the recommended ease is 0 to 4 inches of positive ease. And this will give me, as long as my measurements are correct, will give me 4 inches of positive ease, which for a cardigan, I love big oversized cardigans or like just very cozy cardigans with lots of positive ease. Cardigans that are open, that don't have buttons, I feel like are hard to kind of gauge what kind of positive ease there is, because you could overlap, right? And have lots of positive ease, but just have it overlap, or to be very drapey in the front, but still be like close fitting in other areas. And so I'm very interested to see how this works out. So I just went with the recommended ease. And I'm glad to see that the armholes, I was worried that the armhole was going to be tight. The shoulders are a little short, and I've noticed this in the pattern pictures as well, is that shoulder, or like where the sleeve starts, is very high up on the shoulder. So I didn't look yet. I don't know if it is a set in sleeve, or like, you do short row shaping to make like that sleeve cap for it, and I hope so, because it does, the sleeve will start like very high up on the shoulder. It is not a drop shoulder at all. So, and I think you can see that from just like how it just looks really narrow at the top, and so it got me worried, but I did try it on and it does fit, so we're all good there. But if I hold it out like this, you can see, you can see the Suri colorway a little bit better. You can see those little speckles of color all throughout, and so I really like that. From far away, if you're not looking super close or for too long, you're like, oh, that's a blue and white striped garment. But if you look really closely, you can see those little specks of like that purple blue and like a darker red. I think, well, there was brown in the skein. Where'd that go? Unless is that what's turning out looking like the red? I think it's different, but yeah, it just looks, I think it looks so cute, and it's just like that extra special, little bit of colors that I think is really cute, and so I'm really happy with how this is turning out. Thankfully for the stripes, because you're only alternating 2 colors, you can just carry them up the side, so you don't have to cut every single stripe, which is great. So that is another, great thing about this pattern. And one other thing, I think I mentioned that this is an A-line shaped cardigan, and so there will be increases done on the side of the body. And okay, one thing that got me a little confused about this pattern, and I think, when I made the other cardigan, the Amy cardigan by Joji Locatelli, I hope I'm remembering this correctly, is that there are instructions to do things. You have to keep track of like 2 different things happening at the same time. So, for example, one of them might be, the armhole increases and the neck increases happen at different rates. So you have to just keep track of 2 of them separately in your head. And in the pattern, you just have to like it says that, but you have to remember, like you can't just follow line for line. When you do your I'm at this row, do this increase. I'm at this row, do this increase. You could make a chart for yourself, I guess. But it's not like all written out for you in the pattern. One thing that did get me slightly confused is that the, okay. How do I say this? Okay, so there is a section for the fronts. You're increasing at the neck here, and it says knit until whatever amount of inches, right? And you're doing increases while you're doing that, but because there is no row count, like, knit this number of rows and then increase, and then repeat that X amount of times, right? And then next instructions, and you should have this amount of stitches on your needle. It just says continue the increases as, the pattern states until you knit this amount in length, in like inches, right? And it's like depending on, how many rows you do, you're going to have a different stitch. Like, there's no stitch count because you could have a different stitch count depending on, other things. And that made me really nervous because I like to, like, cross off a line. Like, I did this number of repeats. I did, that, and then I'm good. And so when I do the next side, I'm like, it's fine. I just follow the same thing. But for this one, because it was, like, continue the increases and knit until this number of length and just remember what you ended up with and do it for the next side. I don't know why. I don't like taking notes when I knit. Like, if I can avoid it, I don't like writing down, like, oh, I ended with this number of stitches on this side. Because I lose those notes. And I know I could just write it on the pattern too, but, like, I don't like taking notes. And so I know it's a me problem, but I did find it kind of like, I had to stop and think. And I'd be like, okay, I knit the repeat this number of times for myself to reach this amount of length, and I have to make sure I remember that for the other side and that the stitch counts match. So that was just one thing. I was like, oh, I just had to like change my mindset a little bit there on how I remembered things for, one of the fronts to the other front. What helped was I put a stitch marker. And because there's stripes, I could just count the number of stripes I worked. And as long as I followed the increase pattern, or like, the amount, increase X number of rows, as long as I kept following that, once I got to the same number of stripes on the other side, then I knew I was good. So that did help with the striping helped in that sense. But if there's no stripes, I feel like that would make me very nervous to make sure the front, or the the two fronts were the same. Because I have no stitch count to reach to know that I'm in the right spot. Unless I wrote down my stitch count from the front. But, okay, anyway. That was just that. That was a me thing. Just slowed me down a little bit. And then just kind of in a similar spot is that now that I'm connected in the body, it says to continue the neck increases until you worked a total of number of increases. And I was like, it's really hard. It's a little hard to read the number of increases if you have to count from the start again. It's not impossible, and I did it. It's fine. But I was confused. I was like, wait, I need to count. So I need to count how many I've already done. I need to count how much more I need to do. Look, it's very easy math, but I like to not think when I'm knitting, and so that was just the only thing. But I figured it out. It finally at that point said, once you're done with that number of increases, you should have a total number of stitches for the front. That was great. But then I was confused. I was confused again on the wording because earlier in the pattern, when it was separating out stitch count, it was said this was the front and this was the shawl collar stitch counts. The front and the shawl collar stitch counts. But in this case, I was like, well, how would that number make sense? So, because I was like, I didn't know if I was talking, at that point, I didn't know if I was talking about total number of neck increases from the very beginning or just from where I'm going to start or where the instructions were. I wasn't sure. But now I know when it says total front stitch counts, it is everything. The shawl collar, these front stockinette stitches, basically all the way until your underarm stitch marker. So, if you are also making this and also get confused at that section, I hope that helped. Although I feel like sometimes my explanations are confusing to other people. It works in my brain, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask me if you decide to make this as well. But that is my new cast on. It's very cute. Oh, when I'm like holding it like this, it already feels so light and fluffy. Like the Berry Natural base is so soft. The Suri is so soft. And it's so lightweight because it's fingering weight and lace. And I just think it's so funny that I'm making this because, yeah, it pretty much all started with Megan's sample knit of the Elton pullover that I was like, why? Makes no sense, but I think I get it now. And I hope that it wears nicely too. Not only looks cute, but that it feels really nice. So that is my new garment cast on for this week, and I love it. I'm excited to work on it even more this coming week. Okay, we're now into the spinning section of the video. I have been trying to spin more, and I think I've been successful because I am almost done with this spin project. So I've been spinning on my Yarn Jam fiber in the arieknits colorway. And if you haven't watched some previous videos, although maybe you have, if you watched other podcasters, which I will mention very shortly, you may have heard about this collection coming up from Yarn Jam called the Podcaster Collection. It is coming out September 6th. It will be an in-stock release on September 6th, but if she runs out, there will be a pre-order for these colorways, and so don't worry about, or I wouldn't worry about running out of this fiber or the colorway that you want, but the collection is called Podcaster Collection because Trisha from Yarn Jam gathered a group of podcasters that she loves to watch and that they spin to do a fiber collaboration, and for there to be a fiber colorway that is inspired by each of us for this collection. And so I have been working on my colorway, the arieknits colorway, which let me just hold up my bobbins. Look how cute it is. And yeah, I've just been working on this a lot because I want to get some plied skeins up and running and to take pictures of it so that you can all see what potential there is for the fiber and what it could look like spun up, because sometimes I think it's hard to kind of envision what a fiber color, like if it's multicolored, like how that would look spun up. And of course everyone spins differently. No one will spin the same. Like it's really just like an individual kind of thing for your spinning, but it gives you, I'm hoping it could give you an idea on what your yarn could look like. So I am in the middle of spinning up my singles for 2 braids, and so I did finish 1 braid, and I think, is this new news that I finished my first braid? I am doing a 2-ply fractal spin for this, and so this first braid all fit on this bobbin, and I just split that braid in half lengthwise, and I knit them end to end. And you can see that, breaking it up into less pieces will have longer color sections, and so you can see just like those big chunks of like pink, the golden yellow, the blue green, golden yellow, and the pink, compared to this is my second braid, and I split that fiber up into 4 pieces lengthwise and spinning that end to end. And you can just see how much smaller or shorter those color sections are compared to when I only split it into 2 sections. And I love that this is like, I feel like a very good visual for when you're spinning a fractal spin. So you'll have one of your plies longer color sections and the other one short color sections. So you'll get like the barber pulling of different colors throughout. And so I am almost done. I have only 1 more fourth of that fiber braid to spin for this half, and then I'll get to plying. And so I'm hoping that I can have a finished yarn ready to show you in next week's video. Let me show you the braid and the singles next to each other so that you can you can see, like, I love seeing how it transforms into different parts of the spinning process, just because, yeah, sometimes you can't, like, really tell, you know? Trisha has been so nice throughout the entire process of this, and so, I mentioned that I was going to spin this colorway for my contrast color for a pressed flower shawl, but then Andrea Mowry released her framed sweater, which I love it, and there's other people, other of my friends who also want to make it, and so specifically Marlene from Marlene Knits, she reached out and was like, you know, I'm making the frame sweater, like, thinking about doing just like a small casual knit along with just like group of friends. We have an Instagram chat, and if I wanted to join, and I was like, yes, that would be great, because I'm a little nervous about this project, only because it looks like a lot of work. But anyway, so I changed my plans to make the framed sweater by Andrea Mowry with this as one of my contrast colors, because I think that'd be so cute. And yeah. Oh, and okay, that story was to say, because I mentioned that I was like, I'm worried that I'm not going to have enough yarn from my Handspun to finish the sweater. Like, I might make it, or I might just not make it. And Trisha was so nice. She reached out and she sent me another braid of yarn, and so that's why I have this extra braid of yarn, and I probably won't spin this unless I need it. So I will apply, when I finish spinning this, I will apply it. I will probably start the sweater, and only if I need extras, I will probably spin that. But I feel a lot more relaxed that I have that as a backup, and also so that I can still see the arieknits colorway in the braid of the fiber. And so, yeah, so I really like that. And thank you, Trisha. That's so nice. But in addition to that, she also sent me the colorway in the tweed base. Oh, okay. So the collection of the fiber, there's 2 fiber bases available. They are both the Shanico base, the Rambouillet Merino sheep, which I love. I am obsessed. We'll get into that, I think, a little later, but I'm obsessed with this base. I love it so much. And the 2 different bases, one is just the plain Shanico, and the other is Shanico Confetti Tweed. And Trisha sent me a little, like, sneak peek of what this colorway looks like in the tweed, because when she initially had the tweed and the sample of it, it was different colored tweed, and now it's, so this tweed I haven't seen in person, this color combination. And so anyway, I saw it and I was like, it looks so cute in this colorway. I wasn't sure, you never know, colored tweed and colorway yarn, like how it would look. Okay, look how cute. Actually, I should take it out of the bag. One moment as I take it out of the bag. I need to take pictures of this as well, because I want to spin this so bad and see how cute it is. Okay, here's the colorway in tweed. I am actually obsessed. It is so good. It just looks like little sprinkles on like I don't know what it is. It looks so happy to me. It looks so happy. So the tweed colorways, there are green tweed bits, red tweed bits, and blue. Red, green, blue. And I think also a little bit of yellow, golden yellow. Yeah. And it's basically like darker versions of the colors I have in this braid. And so I think that's why it looks so good on this. It looks like birthday to me. I don't know what it is, but it's so cute, and I'm very happy with it. And I can't wait to spin it. It's just so cute. Also, I'm obsessed now with this tweed too, because if you watch Emily Curtis, Gently Chaotic Knits on Instagram, YouTube. Instagram, she's Emily Kurt. She has her colorway in the tweed, and she's spinning up the tweed, and it looks so cute. And so I'm obsessed. I think I'm going to need Emily's colorway in tweed specifically. So while I'm mentioning Emily, this fiber collaboration that I've been talking about for the past little bit now has other podcasters in it, of course, not just me, because that would be crazy. But they're just the group of the best people I could imagine for this collaboration. When I heard who all was in it, I was like, perfect, because I love them all and I like kind of know them all. So in addition to me, Emily Curtis from Gently Chaotic Knits also has a colorway in this collection, and it is so cute. I've mentioned already, 5 seconds ago, I really want to get her colorway in the tweed. I will probably try and get everyone's color, at least one braid of everyone's color, because they're my friends and it's a collection all together, and I feel like the braids all want to be together. So Emily Curtis is also in this collection, and then Megan from A Naughty Mess, my other friend. So my 2 friends in Pacific Knitwest, who I see regularly in person, are in this collection, so that's so fun. So Megan, A Naughty Mess, also has a colorway, and it's so Megan, and so I'm definitely gonna have to get that, and it's just so good. It's so good, and I'm so happy that oh my gosh, we should take a picture of it all together too, since we see each other in person. And since Emily also now made it known to the world that she's back in Seattle, I'm so happy she's back in Seattle. It just wow, I'm so glad she's back. Okay, so we can all get together now with our fiber. How fun. Okay, and then Marlene from Marlene Knits also has a colorway. She's also spinning that up and making her framed sweater, and it looks fantastic. I love it. I'm obsessed with that one as well. So good. And Marlene is so nice. So she's also in this collection. And Casey from Young Folk Knits is also in this collection. Look, that group of people is just so fantastic, and her colorway is also great. And everyone's colorways, and I've said this before, and I'll keep saying this until the collection comes out, right? Everyone's colorways are so different that I'm pretty sure if you're looking to buy one of these fibers, you will find a colorway that you like or willing to try. And you will love this Shaniko base. We're all obsessed with it, and you're gonna love it too. I love it so much. Okay, so that is the Podcaster Collection fiber, and also my current spin right now. It's coming out September 6th, and so you still have some time to plan and think about it. Everyone posted their colorways, or at least talked about it in their videos, and so if you're curious to see other of the colorways that will be, everyone's talked about in their podcast. Also, follow Yarn Jam, of course, on Instagram. She is Yarn Jam on Instagram, and also yarnjam.com. And I have it linked or, listed down below as well, because she has been posting on her Instagram. If you didn't know what was happening, you're probably like, what's happening? But she's posted coming soon, and those pictures of the fiber is also of our colorways. And so definitely check that out and see if there's something that you like. And each of us will have a discount code for this collection, and so keep an eye out for that. We'll probably start talking about it very soon. But so each of us have a discount code, but you can use it on any of the fibers. So you don't need to use my discount code to buy the arieknits fiber. You can use it to buy, any of the other podcasters' fiber, and you can use someone else's code to also get my colorway of the fiber. It's just, just whoever, I don't know. There's no, keeping track of that. You just use it to buy the fiber from the podcaster collection. Okay, I feel like I'm going crazy now, but I'm feeling like I'm getting into the groove, and so that's why. Okay, are we done now talking about whips and spinning? I don't know how short I can keep this, but it is now time to talk about Flock Fiber Festival. I know everyone's been talking about it for the past week because it's been 1 week since Flock, and it was just such a great time. This was the second year that Flock has happened, but this is the first time that it was in the Seattle Convention Center. I've never been to the Seattle Convention Center before, and I think they remodeled, or there's a new building, and so that's where it was, and it was so pretty. It was beautiful. It was clean. So much space. Last year was fun and great, but it did feel kind of small. It was I think it was Magnuson Park. I think that's what it was called, and it was in an airplane hangar, and it was cute. But this one felt like a real upgrade. Lots of space, and it felt nice to have all that space. Lots of seating for everyone to sit and eat and knit, and so that was really great as well. I don't know if my memory is really that great to go through hour by hour per day to say this is what I bought at this time and in this order and who I saw and all of that. So I just wanted to say before I get into the acquisitions that I had a really great time at Flock. It was really just the whole event just feels so good. In my heart, that I just can't believe that I found such a great community in knitting here in Seattle. I really didn't, when I started knitting during the pandemic in 2020, I couldn't have imagined what knitting would bring to my life, and it's brought a lot. It's brought a lot of friendships, and I would categorize myself as an introvert. I think that is very true. I don't really put myself out there if I can avoid it. I'm not one to go up to people and just introduce myself and say hi. And so the fact that I've found a group of friends who are just so kind and have just the best energy and will include me and, also just let me just be there. I really just sometimes just existing in a space of people. I don't have to be part or active in a conversation to just feel included and just part of the group. So I'm really happy and glad to have them and found them, and to spend Flock with them as well has been so nice. It's just been a really special weekend that I've been looking forward to ever since last Flock. So it's just been really great. Makes me feel really happy. And this year was really extra fun because we did have a sleepover at Megan's house. Some of us did, and we also had a barbecue at her place. And also we had our Bay Area, our San Francisco knitting friends. We actually got to meet them in person. How great is that? We've had video calls throughout the year to work on our calm down cardigans. And so that was really fun. And it was just kind of crazy because it was the first time that we've seen them in person. Although I did meet Sharon in person last year at Flock, but everyone else too, just to see them in person, it didn't feel like it was the first time meeting them in person, it just felt like an instant connection. And again, I wasn't that talkative, but I just felt so comfortable with everyone, and it was just a great time. So we had a barbecue at Megan's place on Saturday. We hung out, we talked about what we bought that day, and we had dinner, we ate, we took pictures, group pictures. That was really fun. And then some of us stayed more throughout the night, and some people left when we were all right, it's getting late, or it's time to go to sleep. Also Bridget came out again this year, and I met her for the first time last year at Flock, and she's the one who taught me spinning in the first place. And so to even think that was 1 whole year ago, it's just crazy. And so so we all stayed at Megan's, and we slept over. We were spinning, or I was knitting. We're getting a spinning lesson from Bridget all the way through. Man, was it midnight? And just having the best time. And so we went to Flock on Saturday and Sunday for the marketplace. And I was just basically living in the moment. So I really didn't take that many pictures. I think Sunday was when I tried my best to take pictures with people. And I met new people this time, which was my goal. This Flock wasn't necessarily to buy anything in particular, but I really wanted to buy yarn and or fiber from places I haven't bought from before, and I wanted to meet new people. I wanted to meet new dyers, and do that. Like, that was more of my goal. So, and I got to meet some people in person for the first time that I like follow on Instagram, and wow, amazing. I just, again, it's like, it's that weird kind of like, oh, I know you, but I don't know if you know who I am because I follow you on Instagram, you know, like that kind of thing. It was kind of weird, but it was just really nice to finally get to meet everyone in person, and everyone was so nice. So I am hoping to post pictures, the pictures I took with people at some point on my Instagram. We'll see. I'm not the best at posting on Instagram, I feel like, in a timely manner, but so I hope you're not bored with the Flock content. But with that, let's get into the acquisitions, okay? I bought more fiber this year than last year. I think I bought more fiber than yarn this year. So that's interesting, but also kind of predictable. Okay, let me start with, I know for sure this was the first booth I went to because we were on a mission. So, Pacific Knit West, the knitting friend group that I am in, they informed me on the drive to Flock that they have decided that we are all going to get Little Fiber Co. Prismatic roving, the fiber that she was bringing to Flock, which had like the recycled yarn scraps of her yarn scraps in the fiber. We're all going to get it to spin and knit hats. And they were like, we assumed that you would be in. And I was like, absolutely, yes, I'm in. And we were sure that it was going to sell out. And so that was the first mission on Saturday, was to get this. And my goal was to get 3 bags of this because I was going to share it with Megan. And so each of us, we like paired up so that 2 of us would share 3 bags. So we get 1.5, because that should be enough to make a hat. And I think this idea is going to be so cute. We're going to probably make different hat patterns, but it's still going to look, you know, it's like the thing that the group likes to do is to knit different patterns, but in the same color. And so I feel like that matching is my favorite kind of matching. But anyway, I do have a bag of this to show you. Look how cute it is. I am obsessed with this part. There's like some bright pink sections in some of the fiber that we got. And okay, so me and Megan are sharing the bags, and she came over the other day for us to split up the fiber because we wanted to make sure we got equal amounts of like the different kind of colors, because there were different colors of that the recycled yarn scraps in different of the bags, and so we wanted to split that up equally, and so we did that, and so we should be good to go. It's amazing. It's so light and fluffy. I cannot wait to try and spin this. It is, I'll just read off the label. It is called Prismatic Roving. It is 35% non-superwash merino, 35% non-superwash blue face Leicester BFL. I don't know how to say that. And 30% recycled yarn scraps, 4 ounces for one of the bags. So we should each have about 6 ounces after we split. Yeah. So I'm really excited about this, and this was really fun to get. So I'm really excited about that. And since I was in the booth, I just had to get a braid of fiber as well. And so I got this one. This is called Pairs Well with Friends. It is 100% American Rambouillet, 20.5 microns, 4 ounces. But look how amazing and like deep and dark and pretty these colorways are. It's so good. And so I did have to get one braid of this as well. While I was at the booth, I did get to meet Lauren of Little Fiber Co. And okay, to be honest, I had no idea she knew who I was. But when she was talking to me about the 3-ply spin I did of her fiber from the In the Clouds collection. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's me. And that she loved it so much. And I was like, that is so amazing to hear. And so, yeah. And she was like, did you post pictures of it yet? And I was like, I didn't, because it's so hard to get. I tried this past week to get pictures of my 3-ply yarn. This is the one where it was like a brown and a pink purple all applied together. I tried to get pictures, and just the lighting, it's so hard to get it to look good and accurate. And so I'm going to keep trying, and then I'll eventually post them. But it is such a good spin. I'm so happy with this combo spin. I wasn't expecting the colorways to turn out how it did at all. But yeah, she was saying she loved it too. And so that made me really happy to hear that she liked it. The spin I did of her fiber. So it was so nice to meet her in person. She is so kind and lovely, and I wish I spent more time at the booth. But yeah, I did get a picture with her on Sunday, so that was great, and it just made me so happy. Okay, but moving on. So that was like mission number 1, and then after that, I don't know where I went or what happened. Actually, I do know. My other mission for Flock was I needed to get a few things for my friend who lives in Hawaii, and she couldn't make it to Flock this year, so she wanted a couple things, and I was able to get her most things except for the yarn she wanted from Explore Knits, because I saw that line and I was like, no, sorry, I can't. I couldn't get myself to go into the Explore Knits line. I think she wanted Court of Dreams yarn, and I think that's really popular, so sorry about that, but I got her everything else on her list, so that was good. And so that was my other mission, and I already gave it to to her, to someone else who's gonna go and give it to her, and so that I don't have to share with you all. But should I just go through the fiber, or should I do the yarn first? Since I started with fiber from Little Fiber Co., I think I will just continue with the fiber. Okay, so the only real plan I had for Flock in terms of like things I wanted to buy was fiber from Hello Lavender, because when she posted that she was bringing fiber, and she was dyeing fiber first of all, and that she was bringing it to Flock, it is so good. The colors are all so good. I kind of wish I bought all of them, but I had to be a little, at least I needed to have some kind of restraint, so I bought two braids of fiber from Hello Lavender. I of course had to get the colorway Flock 2024, because this pastel goodness is just so me. You can see there's like yellow in there, pink, of course, and I love pink. It's a blush pink, and so that's like also perfect. And some gray. I feel like that's gray. It's just so pretty. And I think Reshma posted that she spun a little bit of it before Flock 2, and it was just so pretty. It was so just like soft and just beautiful. And so I really needed to get this colorway for sure, also because it's the flock colorway, and so that felt like it needed to happen. Both of the fiber I got, did she have other bases? It is 100% Rambouillet, and 4 ounces per each braid. So that was I love that it was Rambouillet, because I love Rambouillet, and so that was really nice. Love this colorway. And then I also had to get this one. This is called Summer Bloom. Same base, but a lot brighter colors. And I think the picture that she put on her Instagram that like accompanied this colorway reveal was just like some like dried flowers, and I really liked it. I feel like this colorway matches that perfectly, and I'm really excited to see how all of this spins up. It has a lot of colors in here. Purple, like this orangey brown, blue, red, and more of like a, actually, did I say purple already? Green? Just like all the colors, and it's so pretty and so bright. And so I got two, different feeling kinds of fiber, but that makes me very happy. And so, yes, I got both of these from Hello Lavender. And then I also got some, I think I got a stitch marker, but I can't find it. It's in a bag somewhere. Some of the notions and stuff. I also got stickers from another booth. I don't know if I'll be able to show it because they're in a bag somewhere. I know I have them. They exist somewhere, but it's just with everything, and that the fact that I'm still trying to figure out my storage situation for my yarn and fiber. So everything is just in bags right now. It's a bit of a mess. So once I have everything organized, I'm hoping finding things will be a little bit easier, but yeah, this is the fiber I got from Hello Lavender. I'm just going to put it over here for now. And then this is definitely not in order that I went, but I also really, really wanted to get this fiber from Wee Chickadee. This is from the La Mercerie booth. Should I open the bag so it's not shiny? Probably. So my friend Bridget, who taught me to spin last year and came to Flock, and also came this year to Flock, and is the designer of the Vice Versa shawl, which I talked about in last video. And because I test knit it, so I've talked about it before. The Vice Versa shawl was in collaboration with La Mercerie and Wee Chickadee as a pattern using fiber, because you can spin. The idea for the Vice Versa shawl is you could spin. You can use Handspun. You can use Handspun for this pattern, and so Wee Chickadee dyed a special colorway for La Mercerie for Flock. I believe it was for Flock. And kind of, all together. New fiber colorway for release at Flock. New pattern that you could use it, and that Bridget had a sample using that spun fiber, so you could see it spun up and knit up in this pattern. And then yarn also that you could buy from La Mercerie to accompany it. So I had to get the fiber that was coming out from this collaboration. The colorway is Evermore. This one is 100% Targhee wool, and I haven't spun with Targhee, I think, in a while. Is that true? But I really like it. It's a very, I feel like, unique feeling fiber, and it's very, bouncy, I feel like is how I would describe it, and I really like it, and so it's pretty exciting that it's coming out in Targhee. And this just basically screams me, I feel like. It's just pink and purple and pastel. And so, I had to get it because it's so cute. And so I did get this for fiber. Okay. And then, let's see. Okay. So throughout Saturday and Sunday, I don't know what day I bought this fiber, but again, my goal was to visit as many vendors and to see as many different things and products from people I've never bought from before. And so, one of these booths also was on the lookout for fiber. That was kind of also wanted to get more fiber this year because you could actually see it in person, which is really great, and to touch it in person. So I went to Seattle Sky Dye Works. I've never bought from them before, and they had some fiber on display, and I was touching it, and I was ooh, interesting. And then in the corner, I remember I saw this colorway, and I was it's so cute. So let me hold it up. Yes, I know, it's pink. I'm predictable. But it's so cute. It's so cute. It's pink and peach. It's not a solid color. I think you can kind of see some of that variation in there, but it's a pink and a peachy pink. It's so cute. And this fiber feels so amazing. So, colorway. Okay, first of all, this is Polworth Roving. Have I spun with Polworth? I think I have before, but not super often. I feel like I don't really see Polworth that often, so yeah, when I was like, ooh, yeah, I want that. It feels amazing. It says Polworth Roving, grown in England, 22 to 23 micron. This is 4 ounces, and the colorway is Rhododendron. Cute. So cute. And I think I even, when I showed this to my friends, I was like, ooh, look what I got. I think it was Katie who was like, where did you get that? Because I want to look at that fiber too. So this was Seattle Sky Dye Works. Very cute. Love the feeling of this fiber. Okay, I have, let's see. Okay, we're getting into the territory where I have to like dig through my bags if I just want to do fiber first. I might, if I miss some, I'm gonna have to, bring it up again. But, oh, okay. I went to 316 Dye Studio and I got a braid of yarn as well. A braid of fiber as well, because last year at Flock, I did buy fiber from 316 Dye Studio. And also, did you know that I spun all the fiber I got from Flock last year? And so I felt good about buying more fiber this year at Flock. But 316 Dye Studio, I did buy fiber from last year. Bridget helped me find fiber from them. And I loved it. It was great. The colorways were great. The fiber was great. So I wanted to buy another braid this year. And this time, I wanted to get this colorway in this base. Because I think, was it Casey from Young Folk Knits that spun this colorway? And maybe in this base too. Someone I watched did, and I was like, it is so pretty, and I want it. And I think I looked on the 316 Dye Studio website at some point for it, but they were sold out. I think that this is a popular colorway, maybe a popular base too. The colorway is Cinder and Smoke, and the base is Merino, Alpaca, Camel, Silk. The percentages of that is 40% Merino, 20% Alpaca, 20% Camel, and 20% Silk. This is a 4-ounce braid, and it feels luxurious. It feels so silky, smooth. So I'm really, I haven't spun with this kind of composition of fiber before. So I'm really excited about that. And this colorway is so moody. I'm kind of like really into that right now, I feel like. So I'm excited. I'm very happy that they had this there so that I could get this. So that is 316 Dye Studio. Okay, and then I am just rearranging a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Last year at Flock, and I remember this. I do remember this because I started spinning last year with Bridget. That she was helping me shop for fiber last year at Flock. And she was shopping for fiber for herself as well. And I remember that she picked up some Finn fiber last year at Flock. And I remember touching it. And I was like, it feels amazing. But because I was still a baby spinner, I literally at that point was only tried spinning for one day. I was like, it's too advanced for me. I don't know, I don't know what I'm doing. I need just the basic fiber. But I remember Bridget getting the Finn, and I touched it, and I was like, it feels so nice. Okay, so I feel like Bridget was the start of this train of Finn, because all of my friends this year, actually, who did I hear it from first this year? Everyone in my friend group got Finn fiber. They just I saw them walking past, I feel like, and they're like, oh my gosh, this fiber. And I was like, what is that? And they're like, it's in this booth, and it's Finn, and you should get it. It's amazing. There's multiple of us who got some Finn fiber. Actually, okay, Emily has definitely talked about it on her podcast. Emily and Maya, I think, also got some Finn. Did Maya get Finn too? I think Sylvan also got some Finn. basically let me show it to you, and I think you'll understand. Okay, so look. Okay, so this is, first of all, from Fiber and Flame. And this is Finn wool, and it's raised on Whidbey Island, so local, and processed in Skagit Woolen Works. Processed by Skagit Woolen Works. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to hold them. I need to hug them and show it to you like this. Okay, each one is 2 ounces. Okay, so like, remember, like these braids that I was showing, these are 4 ounces. Look how big and fluffy this is, and this is 2 ounces. So I had to get, I wanted to get more of this color. It's like a lighter brown, but they only had 2 of these left. And I was like, I want more than that. I want more Finn wool than that. And they had this dark brown. And so I got 2 of this dark brown. And I'm thinking about doing a 2-ply and plying these colors together. I think that would be cute. Please tell me if that will be a mistake or if you think that I should do that. But look how fluffy and squishy this is. It's so amazing. I am so excited to try and spin this, but I'm also a little scared because it's so amazing. I don't want to screw it up. But yeah, like the one thing about flock this year was because I bought so much fiber, some of the fiber was so fluffy like this that it looked like my bags were extra full, but it was just fiber. It was just fiber. Fluffy fiber. Fluffy, amazing fiber. So again, this was from Fiber and Flame. So that's amazing. These are amazing. So fluffy, so soft. Okay, I put that there. And then, what other fiber do I have? Okay, I think we're getting near the end of the fiber. Then we gotta do the yarn. Okay. Actually, I'm just realizing I feel like I did a very similar color thing at this booth as well. So this is from Sincere Sheep. And I just went to look, and then I was with Megan, I'm pretty sure. And just like, I think talking to the owner, and right in front of them, it was kind of like unassuming, like this little cart. And it kind of just looked like yarn, but it was fiber. And I just was like, oh, I wonder what it is. And I touched it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so soft, and I need it. So, which one do I put up first? Okay, let me show you this. I know, I got a light brown and a dark brown, but they are different fibers. And so this one is Merino Alpaca Roving. 65% Merino / Cormo / Lincoln / Wensleydale. Yeah. And 35% Suri alpaca. Is that? Yeah. There's a lot of other words on here as well. But each of these are also 2 ounces. So I got 2, so I have 4 ounces. Yeah, it says made by hand in the Napa Valley. So again, this is from a company that I've never bought from before, and so everything's like kind of new, but like amazing. It's so soft and smooth, and so I really wanted to get this. And then this one I'm extra excited about because I touched it. Okay, some of the fibers, like you can see, it's like really long hairs. But it's so fluffy and so light. Like, it's like really like squishy. And I was like, what is this? It's very exciting. So this is Merino and Angora Bunny Roving. That's so exciting. I actually did get a sample from Paradise Fibers like a few months ago, I think, of Angora Bunny fiber. So soft. And so when I saw this label and it said there's Angora Bunny in this, I was like, oh, I really want it because I haven't spun with it yet. And it's very exciting. So, yeah, it says 92% Merino. Say Merino X wool. I don't know if that X means just like... don't know, I'm just reading exactly what's on the label, and then 8% Angora bunny. So it is mostly merino, but, you know, it does have some of that bunny. So soft, so amazing. It just, like, feels so different from other things that I have, other fiber I've felt, and so, both of these, and so it's just, like, a really exciting, like, I love being able to touch new fiber to me, and I can't wait to spin it. These I will not spin together. I will spin them separate. Don't know what I would make, but they would make something amazing, I think, touching your neck, you know, like a little scarf or something, or a little shawl. Maybe a vice versa shawl if I get enough yardage. You can make a small one, maybe. Okay. Anyway, so that, I think that's all the fiber that I got. Super exciting finds, and just a really fun time shopping with friends. And then, okay, let's get on to the yarn. Yes? Okay. This was where everyone had such amazing yarn. It was really hard for me to choose what to get. But I think I did a good job of sticking to, like, wanting to buy, like, 1 or 2 skeins from places I've never shopped from before. And there's actually also a lot of places I've never shopped from before, but I follow them on Instagram. I love their stuff. I just, like, never bought anything, and I don't know why. And so I took this opportunity to buy something. So, where do I start? Okay, I'm going to start with this. This is Ballyhora Fibers. Hand-dyed in Ireland. I am following their Instagram, and I love their colors. Very much up my alley. I don't know, I've been trying to be good on yarn buying, but part of that also because I knew I was going to want to buy a lot at Flock, and so I kind of was saving up for that. So this is where I went and bought some stuff. So, Ballyhora Fibers. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, again, the colors are super up my alley. Very, like, watercolory. Lots of pinks. Or maybe not lots of pink, but lots of pastels too. But also lots of dark and moody colorways. And this one, I was, like, touching the different bases, and this one really caught my eye, my hands. This is non-superwash Merino fingering. It is 437 yards for 100 grams, and the colorway is Isle of Rum. They also had this colorway in the superwash base, and so you could see the different colors a lot clearer on the superwash versus the non-superwash, but I really liked how blended these colorways look. And so this is kind of just like some browns, dark purples, dark red-ish colors. So I think it's going to look really good for something. And two fingering weight should get me a lot of things, I think. I have a lot of options. I feel like my default is 2 fingering weight, so I'm really excited to start working with this. I just don't know what yet. If you have ideas, let me know. I have a lot of things that I want to make, and just putting together the yarn and the pattern is sometimes difficult for me, but yeah, any new pattern suggestions would be completely welcome. Okay, let me start next with, okay, I want to start with this. ZZ Textiles. I've never bought yarn from them before. Again, I don't know why, because whenever they post colorways, I'm like, that's gorgeous. It's so pretty. So I got 2 skeins. I don't know if I'm going to use them together. I think that they would look great together, but also maybe separately because I want to see them worked up separately. These were just like, I really, really, really wanted. I remember seeing on Instagram the colorways and the swatches. So both of these I got in the classic fingering base because I feel like I can use it for a lot of different options. The first one is Tapestry. I saw this and I was like, whoa. So pretty. There's so many different colors in here, but they all work out so nice together. And I love that the dark colors in this. It's very pretty. And then I also had to get this Zorn's palette because it is a blush pink mauve color. And I love that color, and it's dyed up very, very pretty. And so I really had to get that too. And so these were the two that I decided to get from ZZ Textiles. This was the first time I also met her in person. And, I always feel weird because it's like, oh, I know who they are and I think they're amazing, but I've never bought yarn from them. And so I feel weird kind of like going up to them. But she was absolutely like so kind, so genuine, so nice. I am obsessed with her now. So yeah, I will probably be buying a lot more yarn from ZZ Textiles in the future. Also, look how cute. Look how cute. It's so good. So I'm very excited about this yarn purchase as well. Where do I put all of this yarn? Okay. Next up. Okay. I had to get one skein from Red Door Fiber Studio because, again, it's someone that I follow. I enjoy their content. I love their yarn colorways, but I haven't ever bought anything, and so I really wanted to get something. This one, I just felt like it was right. It was good. I got the classic sock base. This is 75-25 superwash merino nylon, 462 yards for 100 grams. And the colorway is Appa, because how adorable. It is, like a light cream, a little bit of like a pink purple in there, some gray, and then like some dark speckles in there. Yeah. Gorgeous. And I was at this booth also because the friend that I was buying yarn for, she wanted some yarn from Red Door because she loves Red Door yarn. And so I was like, well, since I'm there, let me just browse a little bit. So yeah, I had to get this. I did already look at online what she was going to be bringing to Flock, and so I kind of already knew I was going to get this, but it was just good to see it in person, pick it out, and then like grab it. So that is that skein. Okay, we're going on this theme of people I follow on Instagram, and I like their stuff. I just haven't bought yarn from them before. But my friends buy yarn from them, so I feel like that's maybe part of the reason where it's like, oh, I feel sometimes I can resist because my friends buy it, and so I can just see it from them. But this time I want it. I want it in my stash. So this time I went to Treehouse Knits, and oh, I'm just obsessed with the label. It's so cute. And I got this yak silk fingering. It is 65% superwash merino wool, 20% silk, 15% yak, 438 yards for 100 grams. And it says it's from the Meet Us at the Treehouse collection. The colorway is Zephyr. And it is so pretty. It's, again, like this darker brown gray with some, look, I'm going to say pink, but like reddish, maroonish kind of color in there. Really, really, really pretty and very much up my alley, even though, I'm a pastel kind of girl, but I do like these darker colors too. So these are the two skeins I got from Treehouse Knits. And yeah, it's going to be great. I don't know what yet. Maybe a shawl, because it would be really nice as like a drapey something. So that'll be good. Okay, I am going back to a yarn dyer I buy a lot of yarn from, so this is not a new to me dyer. But it was next up in my bag. So I did get, look, I only got 2 skeins of yarn from Explore Knits this year. Pretty good. I think last year I got like 20. So I was good this year. This time I got, 2 skeins of Denali sock. The colorway is Witchy Woman. I believe that this is the color palette from when they were doing the hand-dyed yarn class, and this was like the dark moody colorway palette. And yeah, I'm just really into like the dark dark colorways lately. It's really pretty. There's like browns and purples in here. I just thought it was really pretty and I really wanted it, so I got 2 skeins of that from Explorer Knits. Okay, and then back onto the people I follow on Instagram, and I love their yarn, and I haven't bought from them before. I got 2 skeins from Fuzzy Peach Fibers. They're in Oregon, so that was kind of like what caught my eye at first, because I went to college in Oregon, so, I don't know. When it's from a place that you've been and kind of sort of lived for a while, it's just, like, interesting. Also cute, Fuzzy Peach Fibers. Her stuff is very aesthetic, and I really like it. Also, like, pastels and the pinks are always, like, really good, and so I wanted to get this. This is Rose Quartz. The yarn base is called Ethereal Decay, because it is 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere, 246 yards for 100 grams. It is so soft. Again, this would be great for like a shawl or something that you want to be drapey. I don't know what yet, but it's really soft and I really wanted it. It's like a new to me base as well, and so just really wanted to get that. And I love a rose quartz colorway. So good. So, yes. So that is, again, from Fuzzy Peach Fibers. Okay. We're getting near the end, I promise. Okay. Next up. Oh, I saw this yarn dyer on Instagram, like, really close up to Flock. I haven't really heard of them before, and so I was like, but they had a lot of good pinks, and so I really wanted to go check out their booth. So I got 1 skein of this. Oh, this is from Botanical Yarn. It is a 4-ply superwash, 75% merino, 25% nylon, 425 meters for 100 grams. And look how cute this is. I just realized, it's a one-of-a-kind. It's a one-of-a-kind skein. I didn't realize that. Very cute, very happy, very, like, bright red, kind of like the speckles on this, but with, like, that pink orangey base. Very good, very cute, and so I feel very happy about this purchase as well. And then let me show you these 2 rainbow skeins I got from 2 separate places. So, okay, first off, I finally got a skein from Camellia Fiber Co. I've never bought from them before. They have great pinks, and so again, why haven't I ever bought from them before? I got a skein of this, Rainbow Sprinkles. This is yak fingering, 80% merino wool, 10% silk, 10% yak. Yeah, it's great. Actually, it says CFC yak fingering. Oh, it's Camellia Fiber Co. yak fingering. Sorry, I was a little dumb. Okay, this is great. 437 yards for 100 grams. I just got 1 skein of this because I only saw 1 skein in this colorway in this base, and I really like this base, so I really wanted to get it. It's very soft. Again, will be a good drapey kind of thing. I feel like I got a lot of, like, soft drapey kinds of yarn this year, but these speckles are so delicate and nice, and the base is like a really nice, not really yellow base, which is nice to complement all of those rainbow sprinkles. So that's the 1 skein I got from Camellia Fiber Co. And then, okay, I really wanted to go visit Little Wing Fibers because, 1, I've also followed them for some time on Instagram. They have very cute pastel colors. Again, very much up my alley. I just haven't bought yarn from them before, but I found out, really funny, that we went to the same college at some point in Oregon, and I wasn't knitting or doing any yarn things when I was in college, and so it kind of makes sense that I guess I never met her, but she's dyeing yarn now, and we have a mutual friend, and it's just kind of crazy, that's how it ended up, and so I was like, well, I absolutely need to go and visit her booth, And so I went and I bought this one skein because I remember this on her Instagram, and I was like, I really, really want it and like it. This is Opalescent Sky. This is the 100% fine superwash merino, 437 yards for 100 grams. Very soft, very, very soft. And I think because it's a fine superwash merino, super soft. And so that's really nice. I said that like 10 times. Let me like, I don't want to fully pull off the label, but I want to just show you like the full. I think versus Camellia Fiber Co., where the colors are a bit, they're more like small speckles, and the colors are more strong, like stronger colors. This one, the rainbow colors, there's bigger swatches of it in the skein, and they're also more pastel versions of the rainbow color, and it is so pretty. Let me just pull up so you can see the top of the skein there. It's really pretty, and so I just had to get it. And I also had to meet her in person, finally, to say hi. I know of you, and I think we have a mutual friend. So that was really fun and exciting as well. So good. Okay. Last bag. Oh, it's only, I think, okay, yeah, just a few more. Okay, this one got me really excited. So this is from So Happy Jane. It says Sustain. I don't know if that is like the yarn type name, but there was a sample of this. It was very pretty, but the main reason that caught my eye on this, maybe one of my friends told me this before I saw it. It's called Confetti Worsted. It is, I'm just like looking for it on the label. This is Shanico. It's Shanico wool. So, okay, wait, it just says 89% domestically raised merino. And then 6%/5% recycled acrylic rayon neps. 20.1 microns. Okay, I'm like pretty certain that this is Shanico, which is that fiber, which is from a sheep that is merino and rambouillet. It feels amazing, and I really just like needed to get it in yarn form as well, because I think the only Shanico I have right now is in fiber form that I have to spin up to make my own yarn, but I wanted to get it in yarn form as well. I got 3 skeins of a worsted weight yarn, and this is the confetti, so it has the fiber in there. I mean, it has the, what was I saying? It has the tweed. It has a tweed in there, the colorful tweed. And so, I mean, it's really fun. It's just like the tweed is on just like a plain kind of like tan-ish kind of color base. And I really want to get a sweater quantity because I was like, what am I going to use with worsted weight yarn in a smaller quantity? But I think I could pair this with a handspun something to do like color work or to do like a section. And I think that would look really cute. I think Megan gave me the idea for that. So yeah, I have 3 skeins of this. Feels really good and squishy. Yeah, just really excited to try out Shanico in yarn form. And then, I really wanted to go to Sea Change Fibers because last year my friends went to Sea Change Fibers and they're all like, oh my gosh, their yarn bases are so cool and it's so amazing. And I think by the time I maybe even didn't even get to their booth last year, or when I did, they kind of like were out of some things or didn't have colors because they like sold out of a lot of things. I don't totally remember, but this year I wanted to go and see them and get some yarn. And I went with Megan. It was like one day, I think I spent most of the time shopping with Megan, which is really fun. Okay. And if you watch her podcast, she's talked about this. We got the same yarn, the same colorway, the same base. So this is Bayshore Fingering, 550 yards for 100 grams. This is, oh my gosh, again, this is like Shanico. So 25% merino rambouillet, which is the Shanico, and 75% cotton. So this should be a good fingering weight, like summer top. I think it'll be really great. The thing that really caught both of our eyes on this is just how the color is in this yarn. So it is just like a blue yarn, but the way that some of the dye kind of like gets caught in some of like the cottony parts of this, it looks like pink. And so it looks like it's a blue yarn with like pink little tweed. I mean, it kind of looks like small tweedy bits kind of thing. And you can see that, right? You can see like those pink little slubby parts in there. So cute, and so unique, and it feels great. Did I say the colorway is Sky Flower? So if you're looking for that, for this, it's Sky Flower in Bayshore Fingering. Really cute. And so got 2 skeins of that. Should knit up some kind of summer top for me. And then I did get 1 skein from Sorella Yarn. Again, not a new to me business, but I love their colors. And so I had to get this. This is from the Taylor Swift collection. This is red. I got it in the nylon sock. 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. 400 yards, 400 grams, just your normal fingering weight. And so, yeah, this red is just really pretty. It's super, maybe the camera's not picking up that well, but it's very a dimensional kind of red. There's lots of, you can see the different, it's a tonal-ish, like it's all red, but there's many different depths of red in there, and I think that that's really pretty. And then, last but not least for the yarn, I know that this was my last yarn purchase at Flock, because I went to their booth, and I was eyeing this yarn, and I was like, no, you have enough. But then walking around, and I was like, no, I need to get this. And so I think it was maybe like half an hour, 15 minutes before closing, and I was like, I need to go back and get this yarn. Also from a new to me yarn business. So this is the Royal Bee Yarn Company. Let me show you their label. And they basically had like a whole bunch of tonals, and Megan loves the tonals. Love the tonals there. They have a lot of like darker colors, jewel tones. Is that right? I'm like, I don't know anything beyond pinks and pastels, basically. But Megan really liked them. But what caught my eye was this pink color. But first off, so this is the fingering weight. It is 100 grams, extra fine merino wool, 472 yards. So it feels really nice. And the thing about this pink was that it's like the perfect, like ballet pink, like sophisticated light pink. It is not, I wouldn't call this a baby pink. It doesn't feel childish light pink. Feels like a blush pink, a ballet pink that's like sophisticated. I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, the owner, she was also at the booth, of course, and she was also saying like, yeah, it is a sophisticated pink. So that's where I got those wordings from, and I agree with that totally. It's really pretty, and so I did get 2 skeins of this. It's a perfect pink. I think it is really kind of like the perfect pink, perfect light pink. So I did that, and so that was the last of the yarn purchases. I really just, while you're here, really quickly, I do have some of my notions in here. I did get something from Making Treasures this year. I got gifted last year at Flock one of their making notebooks, and so I still have that and still using it. But this time I wanted to get something, and they had like these kinds of notions there. And I wanted to get this kind of like yarn weight measurement thing, and I think I would use this mostly for my spinning, just to have this kind of, it has, lace, fingering, sport, DK, worsted, Aran, bulky, super bulky, and it has a little groove here so that you can compare like your yarn strand to it. And so I'm planning on using that for my spinning. I thought that was really cute. It's just like very cute stuff, and so I did get that from Making Treasures. And I did get these stickers from Little Wing. I believe this was, she posted about it. I'm pretty sure this is from Little Wing, her booth. These stickers with the sheep, and they have, it's gotta be, they have wings on it. So cute. So cute. So I got stickers. And then I resisted from getting the Flock Fiber Festival tote bag, even though the tote bag is amazing, but I have one from last year, so I didn't need a second one. But I really wanted stuff with the logo on it because it's so cute. So I got a Flock sticker, and then I also got a shirt. I haven't worn it or washed it yet. I need to wash it. But now I watched Megan's podcast on her Flock experience the other day, and she was saying that the shirt is really long. And I'm like holding it up to myself. I'm like, yeah, the shirt is also really long on me. But it's cute, and so I had to get a shirt. And is that it? I'm trying to wrap it up quickly because this video is really long. I do have, if I missed anything, I'll probably talk about it in next week's video. I do have a few acquisitions of yarn just from like other things that it's too much to talk about. There's too much content for this video, so we'll talk about it next week. Still on Flock, I had to get a Flock mug. I just had to. I was trying to avoid it because I have a lot of mugs already. So I was thinking about getting it in the pre-order, and then I said no. If they have it in person, then I will get it in person, and if they sell out, then I wasn't meant to get it. But they had it, and so I got it. And I've been using it pretty much every day since Flock to drink my tea and coffee in. Very cute. And then, yeah, okay, that is it. I feel like my voice, my throat, I need water. I need coffee. It is now, oh my gosh, it's like 9 a.m. now. I started like before. It was like 7:30. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I know it was a long episode, and I hope you liked hearing about, obviously the stuff that I've been working on since that's the normal content for the videos, but I hope you enjoyed hearing about my Flock experience, and all my acquisitions. I had a great time. I love all my acquisitions. I'm very happy with all of them, and I feel really good. I wanted to share the love this year with a lot of new to me yarn dyers and businesses and all of that, and so I feel very accomplished there. I can't wait to cast on with them, and yeah, I'm gonna just wrap it up really quickly, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. Feel free to share with me what you are working on while watching the podcast, or if you went to Flock. I did want to mention, I did see some people I've recognized and remembered from last year at Flock who watched the podcast, and so that was amazing. And also some people it was actually a lot of people I was hoping to see this year at Flock, either podcasters, like other podcasters, and some other viewers I met last year at Flock when you were coming this year at Flock, and I just didn't see a lot of people I wanted to see. Some yarn dyers as well who were just attending. I didn't see some people, and so that is one thing that I was a little sad about this year. I didn't get to see everyone I wanted to see, but I did get to still see people I wanted to see, and meet and new people, and so that was really great. And so yeah, feel free to comment down below if you went to Flock and if you enjoyed it, other things that you got. Did you get some similar things to me, or from the same yarn dyers, the same businesses that I shopped at, or if you're are you looking forward to next year already? Because I am. I want to start planning for next year already. And yeah, I could talk on and on about it, but we will end it here. We can continue the conversation in the comments if you want, or in next week's video. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye!